Hey everybody, welcome back to the Spinnerrack. I'm here with my boy Cal once again. Say what's up to the peeps, Cal.
What's going on? Ready to rock.
That's what I like to hear. So here we're looking at an article from Screen Rant, and they're talking about why a Superman reboot is better than the Man of Steel. So I'm here, of course, with our resident expert, Cal himself. Cal, what is your take on this? What do you think? Do you think rebooting Superman under J.J. Abrams and Ta-Nehisi Coates with a new Superman versus just doing a whole new, doing a sequel to Man of Steel with our boy Henry Cavill? What is your take on this?
Oh, without a doubt, rebooting the franchise is a better idea than trying to make a go of it with Henry Cavill at this point. Because I'm sorry, as much as people like Henry Cavill, Man of Steel was toxic, and it continued on with Batman v Superman, and it didn't really get too much better with Justice League. As much as I like the portrayal of Superman in that better than the other two films, but you had the problem with the digital mustache being taken off digitally, and too many people decided to pan it. So there hasn't really been anything that's been done with Henry Cavill as Superman that hasn't had a fair amount of detraction or just toxicity attached to it. Now you have a fan base. Let me not say large, very vocal, and these guys really want to see him get another shot at this. And I said, that's great. I would have loved to have seen Brandon Routh get another shot at being Superman as well. He didn't, and Henry Cavill will not either.
So, what's your take on that? Brandon. Sorry about that. Henry Cavill clearly has a fan base that is pushing for it. He clearly has a fan base that's fallen up to other projects, from Mission Impossible to The Witcher. Does DC really want this guy to then end up in Marvel, where he could be some, they'll find a place for him. I guarantee you, Kevin Feige will find a place to put him in, to just stick it to DC and say, yo, we got the guy, and we'll put him in a role that he actually works in, You don't think that's a big an issue?
How is that any different than him going and being James Bond?
But it's not different. It's not a comic book universe. It's a superhero universe. This is going to be, that's considered a separate property. We're talking about him going on and being, I don't know. I'm just saying it. I'm not doing that. That's what he's going to be. Let's say Wolverine, for example, and he becomes that iconic character, the new Wolverine, or he goes on and becomes, this new Cyclops. I don't know. I'm just throwing out some names. I'm not saying that's it. This is just something, I don't think any self-respecting fan, it's like, hello? It's like Ryan Reynolds was the Green Lantern until that movie didn't do well, and then he went on and became Deadpool. But he wasn't having a rabid following, people saying, hey, be the Green Lantern until the very end. Not like what you have here with Henry Cavill. I think it's a bad choice, a bad idea. Not necessarily I think it's okay to do a reboot, but I also think you shouldn't take Man of Steel off the table. What's your take on it, Petey? Welcome to the crew.
Hey, sorry for coming in late.
Petey's here. Save Petey!
I would hope that they would figure this out with Henry Cavill. I don't want to do another. And
thanks, Petey.
I didn't know it was gonna go into the fat boy voting system, 2 out of 3 wins. But I think because he's already there, we've already got that other Superman over in the Lois and Superman series. So let's get at least 1-2 movies outside of this Justice League thing, and then call it a day. But I think it's a little early to get rid of them. But Hollywood is a place where they do like to restart and redo, put someone else in it. But I'm like, at this stage, I think it's kind of glaring to immediately being like, oh, we screwed up, or, let's do another one. And then another Superman, you had Brandon Routh, as Cal was saying, you had Henry Cavill, then we get another guy, and you got the TV one. Just like, it's a little too much. And then it's literally a crisis. Like, that's why DC went to crisis. And they're like, hey, we got too many Supermans running around here. So.
Yeah, it could be good.
What you guys talk about the black one? Did you talk about the idea since they got a black writer?
We haven't gotten that far yet, but we were just talking about initially just the Cavill thing, but I think the whole idea that you have multiple Supermans, I'm not necessarily opposed to it. I think Brandon Routh in that CW Crisis crossover did an excellent job, which tells me, hey, why don't we give him more things to do? You know what I'm trying to say? I think that there's, especially on the small screen, you know, you have the possibility to do more stuff there. And DC's also doing more shows on HBO Max. And why not? I'm saying
I would disagree with trying to just move them around to other things in there, because Brandon Routh, if right after the Superman movie, would not be in line to do any TV. Like, that's the thing. Like, if you're doing movies, you don't want to do the TV thing. Marvel has set up a deal for those people to do TV, but the idea is that once, you know, use like regular actors that were on TV. Once Ron Howard left TV. He left TV. When Tom Hanks left TV, he came back. Then Ron Howard called him up and said, "Stop doing TV. No more TV. Hang up. You're a movie star." So it's like, now you might get to play, but most of the time it's post when you want a regular paycheck. And the scripts just aren't good. So you're just kind of like, hey, you know what? I'll do this other thing. So I don't think that just say, hey, you know, the Brandon Routh doing with the Atom is like, hey, you know, this is the paycheck, because what was the acting gigs he was getting before this? So Henry Cavill was doing movies. It was like, all right, now you're gonna do TV. What? I'm out. That's like what he said with the Shazam thing. What, I'm gonna show up at the end credit scene for what? For what? And I'll show up in another end credit scene as I'll wave to hello to people. Nah, you can have my stunt double do that. You can send the Cool J ring. Send Cool J under the curtain. Remember Cool J in Rampage? He's in the curtain and they send the ring and they had the guy with the hat on and he turns around in the seat. That's what you're gonna do with Henry Cavill? No, he's not gonna do that.
And I was the only person who didn't realize that wasn't Cool J.
I didn't either. I thought it was him. He had the moves down pat until PMD said it recently. I was like, what? And I looked at it recently. It's still a hot video. It's still hard to say. The guy has the LL move down perfectly.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what to say.
They got a reboot. They don't really have too much of an issue over here. And I know people would like to keep Henry Cavill, but I don't see how I mean, we already had this discussion with Mars. You know, you got too many factors that say, no, he's going to have to move on.
Well, if I'm Feige, I'm picking him up, and he's going to be a major part of Phase 5 of the Marvel Universe.
What, the fans have gone stupid and said Captain Britain. Like, they're gonna work him into there just yet. How far off?
Please, not Captain Britain.
Maybe Colossus. Maybe they can make Colossus, but he's kind of old for Colossus. So, and they already got a digital one. They got the digital one that's working. So
what about Mr. Sinister?
Oh, please, that's not a real villain.
Okay.
Not a real villain. Why do people go to? Why did Brandon? Was it Brandon Bryan Cranston go to Mr. Sinister? He's not a real villain.
Yeah, and why would Henry Cavill go from being the hero to being a villain in the Marvel universe when these guys get like one shot done?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just saying, probably don't make him the big villain of the thing. Look, the guy who played Thanos did quite a few movies, you know?
I mean, you're setting this up like this is this is like the War of the Roses or something of that nature. Oh yeah, we got this guy. We're going to use him here. There's no long-standing enmity between the two companies. In terms of, at least not in terms of the film.
I think there's a whole fan base, and the fans, you have like the Marvel fans, you have the DC fans, you have the Star Wars fans, and I don't think they want anybody to work it out, you know. And so I'm not the only one saying this, you know. Just so you know.
Too bad for them.
You know, here's an article about 10 characters that Henry Cavill could play. You know.
See what I tell you.
That's great.
Entry, Namor.
He's not playing any of those guys.
Adam Warlock.
All those guys are cast.
Silver Surfer.
The only problem with Adam, I could go for them dolling him up for Adam Warlock, but Adam Warlock's villain is
Adam Warlock.
Thanos. So it's like that's over with.
No,
Adam Warlock is cast already.
No, Captain America. A new Captain America.
Big enough. He hadn't made enough of a statement as his own character to be that.
we're gonna have a Brit play Captain America.
Oh, the Beast. That makes sense.
Come on, man.
Not have. That's the thing. People like friends of mine have jumped for joy saying, "Hey, you'll be Hyperion, and then we'll get the whole." I do not want any Sinister Squadron Supreme or Squadron Sinister, any of that stuff. And people forget because when I think like Rob Liefeld talks about, oh, the copy characters. Stop it. Stop with the what's the name? That looks like what's that? What was that book? The True Brit, the Superman. What if Superman was out in Britain? Like, come on.
Well, there will be a what if. You know, there will be a what if Peggy became got like this, I guess, a super soldier serum, right?
For some reason she's got doesn't become Captain America. It's like, no, we're gonna go. She's based out in America anyway. But
mark my words, it's gonna play out. Henry Cavill's not making any more films. They're gonna try to do this next film, and they're gonna look to make it with the black super, and that right over there is probably going to be DOA. Be incredibly divisive in terms of the audience. You got people coming out to support it simply because it's black. You got other people who are not going to support it simply because the dude is black. And then after all this dust settles, I could probably get a Superman film again. So I got another 4 or 5 years to wait.
Well, look, if you're talking about they're doing the Calvin Ellis version of Superman, it may work out. You know,
no, they should do. A friend of mine was mentioning doing Icon, doing those freaking milestone characters. You want to do Black Superman? Do that. And
why would they do that? That might actually work. Why would they never want to do that?
They're scared.
Icon is not Superman, though. He's like Superman, but he's not Superman.
Again, why would you want to do that? Why would you want to do Icon and make a movie about this guy? You know, that might actually work. Do this other thing that you know not going to work. That's what they usually do.
Yeah.
I don't know. But I'm just saying you do have Black Superman in the
Stop it. Stop. No, stop it. Stop.
Let him go. He's going to do it anyway. Just go.
Stop. Black Calvin Ellis. Stop it. I get it. Because he's Calvin Ellis. You keep saying the Calvin Ellis. It's not, it's pandering. You know that's this nonsense. They're not interested. They just want to see what the audience will do. And then if it's a success, they'll be like, we can't do it any differently. This was what's wrong with Superman in the first place. He should have been black. Then we're going to have Bendis saying, yeah, you know, if you look from the past, if it was done present day, Superman would actually be black. Because that's what he said about Peter Parker. And I don't understand why anyone would think that.
I don't know. I think you guys just, let's look at what the story says, give it some slack, and then call it what it is. If it's not good, it's not good. If it's good, it's good. But you won't know. You know, I mean, great example. People say,
I'll know.
Don't do another Battlestar Galactica. And this reboot of Battlestar Galactica wasn't bad. You know what I'm trying to say? They said,
this is not a reboot of Battlestar Galactica. We're talking about a reboot of Superman and changing the way Superman totally looks, backstory, all of that type of stuff. It's not the same thing.
Oh, well, the other thing is that one thing that Star Wars allowed a lot of sci-fi people to do, which I guess was done in the in Lost in Space and Star Wars, where they would use the Western sets, but then you would be able to do high-tech stuff in Star Wars, but still use those Western sets that were set up, even though everything was set up in it was overseas. When they did Battlestar Galactica, there's some scenes that are just straight Western. When they had Red Eye in there, and he come into the salon, and he's like Red Eye shooting. But it's like, I didn't realize as a kid, I thought that was high-tech stuff until I saw, was it I Love the 70s or the 80s? And they were making, Ice-T was making fun of Battlestar Galactica and saying, this cheesy sci-fi, and they had the ships, which I thought were cool, and I was just like, oh no, he's right, damn, it's cheesy, it's real cheesy.
That cheesy was good, man.
You had something that, no, the actors, they seem like really like people as a kid, you're like, oh, I want to be Starbuck, oh, I want to be Apollo. Like these guys were like, that's the one thing that was missed in the reboot. The reboot's really good, but they were all shorties. They were all tiny. It's like as a kid, I wanted to be, those guys were like grown guys. They were like, you look at they were like those guys, I want to be Starbuck. I want to be that sort of thing. You look at what's the name, I don't want to be those Starbuck. They're little guys, they're all tiny. They're like smaller than Sylvester
Some guys
Stallone.
have that issue with those short guys all the time, bro. I know the deal, bro. I know the deal. I know the deal.
Oh my gosh! But the idea when you look at the stuff that was
Sorry, you're
done,
not part of that, Cal.
when you had those stages, you had like even the Dukes, the Blow and Luke Duke, like these people that you look at and say, you know what? I want to be like that one. I want to be these type of guys, not these tiny little guys. But they had to. I got off track. The idea is that you can reboot that stuff because it was like, hey, you can bring up the production values. You can say, hey, let's wake up. They're like, no, we're not going to do Space 1999 because we're getting close to 1999. And the tech is not like this yet.
It's you 21.99. Rephrase it 21.99. By then, hopefully the phrase Elon Musk and Bezos would have been on Mars or whatever by now. But I mean, look, all I'm just saying is that hey, right now, Cal said umpteen times they're not getting Superman right. They're trying a new reboot to try and see if they can hit fire with this one. Okay. Give it a shot. Let's see what happens.
What is a reboot? What is a reboot, right? Look at the difference. There was very slim difference between the Spider-Man and Amazing Spider-Man. Just a little bit darker. They were trying to do this long story. What happened when they went to Marvel Studios? They said, let's throw out some of the stuff. Let's throw out him working for the Daily Bugle. Let's not have him even touch a camera. Let's make him a little more like Jimmy Olsen, like they changed his personality. That's what a reboot is. It's like saying, hey, Henry Cavill had some things that they didn't do right in the movie, but at the same time, it was, all right, this is Superman, the tech and all of the Krypton is all wrong. There's a ton of stuff wrong. But then when you reboot that, do they go back to the real stuff or do they change it into something else totally different again? A new outfit, a new all this other stuff. So it's very much different. That's the problem with reboots. They don't just like a restart. They're going to say, we need to make it different because it didn't work the last time. Same problem that Fantastic Four had. They're like, how do we make this different from those other movies? And that's the thing with Hollywood does all the time, where they're like, we got to reboot and change everything instead of keeping the core. And that's what they're supposed to be getting. Cut all those barnacles off and go back to the original stuff, but that's not what they're going to do. They're going to say, we need to make something different. We need to get the audience happy about this, that, and the other. We got to make some changes.
Isn't that the whole purpose, to get the audience happy so the audience will continue to watch and continue to follow this particular character? I think that's the whole essence of these things, right? It's called, Hollywood is a business. It's not a charity, right? So the whole point is to turn out characters and stories that people will come out and gladly watch. Just like they change.
Put it into a new dress and say, does it work? You take Superman, put him in a new dress and say, hey, did this dress work? Oh, it didn't work. That's not how business is saying what worked about the character, and let's do that again. And not what they do. Reboot is like, let's put them out in something different and see if this works. Oh, it didn't work. Oh, the audience, Superman, then that's what happened. They say nobody likes Superman anymore. He's not relatable. That's what happens. When they fail, they blame it on the character.
All I'm saying is, if you give something a chance, you won't know until you try it. Is it like they think they have a good story? They think they have something that can. They're not going to throw hundreds of millions of dollars out because it's garbage. They think there's something there.
They're going to do that. The same thing. You got who's the name? You going to say that's not true? When who's it? George Lucas knew he had a piece of trash with Howard the Duck, but you know what? He signed up for a sequel, knowing what he had, saying that the audience will still go to see this no matter what, because it's under his banner. It's a blockbuster thing. It's a pop movie. They'll just come to see it, and I'll make a sequel, and I'll just make money off it. You know what he found out? He was totally wrong. So people will put out a piece of trash no matter what.
And I agree. That was a piece of trash. So I don't think it's necessarily comparable to what you're saying, but we had the reboots, or I don't know, the sequels to Indiana Jones, and that seemed to have worked okay.
You're talking about what? The Crystal Skull?
Was that a reboot or another movie?
It was another movie. It was a reboot.
Sequel. All right, you're right. Sequel.
Look, anytime I hear that's business speak for, hey, let's see if they buy it. Let's see if they're stupid enough to go along. That's what that is. No, you don't know unless you try. Well, let's put it out there. We don't know unless we try. And then when it's bad, everybody runs back to the same stuff. They want to blame the character. They want to blame the writer. They want to blame all this stuff. We didn't know what was bad when we start. I mean, you can't that whole idea of, well, you don't know. No, you know, if the air starts blowing a certain way, you know, oh, it's probably going to rain. Okay. If the ground starts rumbling, you know, okay, earthquake. You can't tell. You got scat on toast before you put it out there before the people. You know it is. You just hope you get away with it.
You guys are so cynical, bro. I don't understand where you guys. I don't know what you're drinking. Clearly, you guys are drinking some of that.
I'm not drinking what you're offering.
Is it cynicism or just saying the fact that they just can't figure this out? That they've had people come try to do Superman stuff now with Henry Cavill, with named people, and they're just like, nah, not right now. Nah, we're waiting on the next bus. The next train that comes on, we'll get on that one.
Hey, I asked Mars, I say, hey, who is Superman? And Mars gave me this generic thing about, oh, Superman, blah, this, blah, that, blah. He don't care. He doesn't care. That's the majority of the audience. When I asked him, hey, who's Batman? He was succinct. This is who Batman is. You can see the light in his eye because he knows that character, understands that character, he likes that character. That hasn't been done for Superman since, I think, Superman 2 at the end of the day. So until you do that and present a story where you encapsulate what makes this character singular, unique, why this guy has been around for 80 some odd years, you're going to keep getting this stuff. You're going to keep rebooting. And the next reboot, exactly what's going to happen. They're going to make him a black Superman. That's going to be DOA. And then afterwards, they're going to say, see, it didn't work, blah, this, that, and the other, because it's not going to work. And then you're going to come over and finally somebody will get it and say, look, why don't we just do a Superman story? They're like, oh, man, we can't do it. It's like, no, they got like 80 years worth of comics over here. There's some good stories over here. We could probably adapt this, or I could pick from here, and we could probably get some stuff over here. That's not a solid story, okay? Make people believe it, and just go from there. But until then, we'll keep getting these gimmicks. And unfortunately, the latest gimmick is the racial gimmick.
I don't think so, but listen, clearly we can move on from this right now. So overall, anything else you want to say about this, PD, before we wrap it up?
Yeah, just do something that's a little better than what you did before. And
Cal, anything you got to say?
I'm not done. No, I'm not done. They spent, was it 20 minutes in the Man of Steel on Krypton? All the stuff that was just like you're watching, it's like, I don't even know what's going on here. Like, that's the thing. When you start off and it's that bad, and no one said, at least trim that scene to the, like you're supposed to feel this thing. It's like Goyer. Goyer's like all these guys that have done good stuff, not necessarily Zack Snyder, but he had some sort of hits on his belt, and they couldn't get it right. They went to the crazy nutty stuff.
Because they indulged. When you saw that scene where Superman's born, and then you got the Kryptonian beast mewing like it's the Lion King or something. The second that has somebody, you're like, okay, this is totally off the rails. We've indulged this guy too much. It should have been like, hey, hold on. Nobody even questioned that scene. They're probably like, oh, that's pretty cool. Yeah, the king is born. And then it didn't do well. They're like, oh, man, how did we let this guy? But Zack Snyder is responsible as much as people may not necessarily give him all the critical acclaim. Zack Snyder makes money for the studio. So these guys are like, hey, people didn't necessarily like it, but look at the bottom line. Oh, we did make some money over here. And it was good up until Justice League. They were like, hey, we're ready for him to come off of that one. And then, you know what? Let's hit Josh with the whole thing. Then we put some money on this here Snyder cut.
Well, it's kind of rotten for them to do something like that because they probably knew where that was going to go as far as the money, how much they were going to make. And the thing is, like, if they pull him away, they keep him bullet free, have Josh Whedon take the hit on the sales, even though it's like, all right, I don't know. It's really sucky to say someone picks up your movie. Well, how much did he change of it? We'll find out soon, right? We'll find out how much in there is different. But at the same time, after we get past that, then what do we have? Like he just escaped total blame now. We're like, oh, we want to get the Snyder Cut. Snyder Cut will fix everything. Yeah. And it's still going to have, dress up as a bat. I get it. Cool. Like you saying that scene's not going to be in there? I wasn't too keen on that one. Or the scenes I like, the Wonder Woman scene, I don't want to see Trenchcoat Batman. We know we've already done something on that. So I mean,
we digress very far from the question that was asked. Is there anything to wrap it up? I clearly think you have wrapped it up. Cal, do you have one word to say?
I don't think we've wrapped it up. I think we have more to do.
I think we have wrapped it up.
I don't think we've wrapped this up. I think we have more to say. I think we just scratched the surface on this particular one. I think you chose a good topic for us, and we need to see this until the end. What do you think, Mars?
No, I think you both are both out of your minds. I think that it's a good idea to have the reboot. I think it's a good idea to continue to try new things. I think it's a good idea that Henry Cavill that seeks out Marvel, and there's no way that if DC had half a brain that they would allow this to continue. You know, so I'm not at all sure what you guys are.
Henry Cavill, don't come back and do this, okay? The working man, we got to put on pumps. You don't have to go out there and wear some stilettos.
Yeah.
Go over there. You got Witcher. Go seek and fulfill your destiny the right way.
You know, he has a talented director, McQuarrie, and they put down some stuff for the new Superman, movie, and I think that's something that I would love to see his expression of Superman with McQuarrie, who was the director in
Mission Impossible, Jack Reacher.
And Jack Reacher. I think that they'll make a good combo team there. And definitely McQuarrie has a lighter tone. It wouldn't be a dark Superman. So, and he can play with the humor. I think it would work. Looking at the work that he's done with Tom Cruise. Now,
I don't know that he would lose any dark stuff. So he can go dark. He knows, but at the same time, he would try to get in some of the other stuff. But ultimately, you can't start and want to get Morgan Edge and Brainiac, and then you get who I guess I forget who it would be. It'd be Mixelplick, and then put that together and you get Superman 3. Like, that's the problem with Hollywood. Like, it sounds good on paper. You have the Morgan Edge character. You got this, you got the idea of Mixelplick. You got the idea of Brainiac, and then it comes into Superman 3. But the core of it, which having with Lana works, all that other stuff, they didn't translate right at all. And that's what happens when you get to these movies where they're like big ideas, but then they just can't do it right. They can't do the basic thing of having Zod right instead of saying, you know what, we did Zod. We saw Superman 2, right? This was just a bigger, more destruction. But that's the thing, Superman's reacting like, no, let's not allow people to die. Let me take them away from some stuff, even though they're breaking up stuff. Like, nope, this one, we're going to show him cut loose, destroy half the city. It looked like the city looked like it was freaking, if you see Lucifer, it looked like the hell from Lucifer. Like, what happened?
And then when it's over, I'm not going to go and look for any people to see if I can help them who might be in pain. I'm going to go grab Lois. Come here, girl. Give me some sugar.
We only met the other day. I did save your life, so come here. Come here, gal.
I sometimes wonder what shows we're watching because we're clearly not watching the same doggone thing.
And then what's the name? Remember Michael Jackson and what's that thing? That music video with Chris Tucker? He comes out and says, sees Lois, she is banging. But anyway, look, guys, I just want them to do a solid Superman movie. And the idea of reboot scares me. Every time I see it, it gets further and further away. We got the Fantastic Four. They saw Fantastic Four movies. They rebooted it. What do we get? We got the Josh Trank Fantastic movie. That's what happens when you reboot. So let's get the reboot. Think of Tarzan. When Tarzan was a success, there were 3 million Tarzans in that same thing.
That's true. You had Tarzan in the book, Tarzan in the cartoon, Tarzan in the movies, Tarzan in the comic strip, and they were all different.
And they were giving the audience what they wanted, okay? And I don't see anything wrong with that.
What were they giving?
They were giving good stories that people can enjoy.
Great. I'm glad we agree. So can we finally get a good Superman story?
That's all we're saying. The reboot will be that. We don't, until we check it out, we won't know for sure. So we can't shoot it. We can't strangle it in its infancy. We have to let it grow. You're saying
what you said earlier, but okay. I'm with you. If that's what you're saying now, I'm with you.
That's what I've been saying from the beginning. Give it a chance.
No, you were saying that business speak. Oh, we don't know if we try.
That's what I'm trying to say. We don't know till we try, bro.
Uh-oh, we're back. Okay, disagree. Anyway.
Okay. So listen, I think we've covered it all here. P definitely got called out. I had to shut him down because, he was getting out of hand there. So I'll let you call it out, Cal. We definitely like this. We think this is a good idea for Henry Cavill to.
No, we don't. See, you want this show. You don't want this show to end. You need to stop that nonsense.
I'm just doing a recap for people. I'm doing a recap. How many times I got to tell you guys this? I'm doing a recap. Yes, we agree that that Henry Cavill should be. We agree that a reboot is there. Okay, Spinnerrack, Cal, Petey, Spinnerrack, out.